There's something I am going to do. I'm going to try. There's something I am going to do. No. No. Okay. I just don't know. It's showing delay. It's showing delay reaction. Just wish I could get it closer, but I can't get it no closer than that. But they'll be able to hear though. Okay, how's everybody out there doing in YouTube land? We're doing a live show at Can Television, and this is the studio right here.
Come on now, let's go. Let's do this. Okay, I'm sorry. Make sure your phones are cut off now.
Yeah. And Mr. Mark Clemens, thank you.
Hey, man.
Because you know what? You have been working in the community for years.
I mean, you want to do it? It's up to you. It's your style. You want to leave it on? Take it off? It's up to you. Yeah. Has it come to a long hour, right? Whole hour?
No, this is gonna be not gonna be 1 hour. Then we're gonna do a show after this.
Okay. Right.
The mic is right there.
9 minutes.
Okay.
9 minutes to go.
But you know what? There's something. I want to do something with you on Skype because you know what? Like I say, man, you know what? I was locked up my own. So I ain't gonna get off into what I did. The people that's looking on YouTube, they're looking on YouTube. That's personal. But you know what? You'd be better off running that up, running that right up.
Under.
Well, you got to pay attention too.
And then I'll probably contact him. Nope, because I
Okay,
see.
we got 5 minutes left.
You don't know.
Okay.
That maybe.
Cliff, when you see your face, that's when you talk.
Okay, let's Underground Railroad. I know we used to come on Saturday nights at 10:30 to get that plug in. But we're going to be talking about Cook County, Statesville. We're going to be talking about Muddy Water.
So hopefully by me being on the show today, I can shed light on it and get those, kind-hearted people to, get involved, ask questions, and even put forth some action.
And how to the brothers of the Mosque.
So I'm looking for the brothers of mine.
Masvidal Farouk and Masvidal Fatih. But let me come to this is the man of the moment. This is the man of the hour. This is the man that has been helping people in prison for years. His name is Mark Clemens. I'm trying to get on this show. But anyway, he has been helping people. He is an advocate. He's been locked up. Like I said, I've been locked up. I'm not gonna say what I did. People watching this on YouTube already know already. But anyway, he's telling us about yourself, and then we're gonna get on down to business, bro. It's a live show. Call in.
You know, it is something that America has tried to ignore, and that is incarceration, mass incarceration. Back in 1981, I was a 16-year-old kid in the city of Chicago, and I was taken down to Area 3 Violent Crimes, where I found myself being tortured. I was tortured to confess to 4 murders. An arson fire occurred on the south side of Chicago, 66 in Wentworth, in which 4 people died, and heat burner for the city of Chicago to find out who was responsible. Being taken down to the police station, I found myself having my genitals and testicles grabbed and squeezed, and while I was called racial epithets by members of the police department. Well, going through this, with a young, tender mind, what you're thinking of is, okay, well, let me reach out to some of our leaders. And back then, our leaders were primarily Luke Palmer, Jesse Jackson, as well as a few others. But the whole thing is that these tortures were able to occur by men and women being picked off in their communities, kidnapped, taken to police stations, and framed with crimes. I was sentenced to 4 counts of natural life, told that I would die in prison, and literally sat there until 2009 when I was freed from the prison system, and coming back into this society is a great challenge.
Hope you get yourself a great lawyer. Okay, but because that's a lawsuit. Okay, but what I want to ask, this is real quick because you know what, your organization and your people, y'all was like, man, trying to help Father Flagler. And the charges against Father Flagler at St. Sabina's Church was dismissed. And I know that your people put on a hell of a lot of pressure. If you want to talk about that briefly, care not to comment, let me know.
Well, you know,
St. Sabina's Church, let me let people know, it's in Chicago. It's at 78th and Racine. Okay.
well, you know, what we have tendencies of doing, we look at people today and we recognize them for their hard work and their dedication today. But when the person now finds himself into a difficult situation, what we do, we turn our backs. And, you know, the bottom line of it is both African American brothers, and one of them was a police officer, and the other one, I don't know what he did, but just using common sense, with one being a police officer, would it take them 40 long years to come forward with claims of sexual misconduct against someone? I don't think so. And I think that what this was an act of extortion. And the extortion was basically hammered out by the Chicago Tribune, as they explained that one young man was seeking $10,000 from Father Flagler, and he tried to clean it up by claiming that, well, he only asked for the money to see if Father Flagler would give him the money. Well, when we tell you, this is something that causes trauma, and not only just trauma, but it sticks with a person the rest of their lives. And if this person was really victimized, they're not looking for money, they're looking for justice.
Okay, you got a question for them?
I'm really kind of like in between because, you know, when people,
You got a question for the principal?
no, not about the situation, but I just want to comment.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, when people get into power, they get connections, and they feel like they can do certain things and get away with it. So in that situation, you have to look from the person who's making the claim and who's the you know, responsible person. You know what I'm saying? Are they capable of doing this? You know, and what's the real purpose behind it? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you hear a lot about priests doing things with kids.
And you know, one thing that I just want to respond to the brother quickly. When we tell you, we all capable of doing some ugly things, believe it or not. We human beings. The problem here with this case with Father Flagler is, if this young man had been victimized, why he didn't bring this out. And it took him 40 long years to bring this claim out as to what he was accusing Father Flagler of doing. I look at it as a witch hunt, and it's a witch hunt to try to silence us when we try to progress and to move forward in establishing rights. And when we tell you, I'm very vocal. If I would have felt that Father Flagler participated in these acts in any type of a way, I would completely back up.
You know what? It's a question that's really, really bothering me. You know what? I know that you advocate on the people of Statesville Prison, Cook County, Muddy Water. I don't even know St. Charles, Dixon. Are the inmates being abused in these prisons? I will ask you about Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover later on. Next question. But are they being abused in the jail by the guards? And do you think that the guards should wear body cams? Not one body cam, but 2 body cams to ensure that they do their jobs and they don't mistreat them and they don't have an excuse to say, you know what, my body cam was working.
Mhm. Well, I think that inside of our prisons, it's a lot known, and it's a lot that has been recorded by the general footage of video cams that they have around the facility. The lack of integrity has come from people like your governors. The lack of integrity has come from your leaders, and it's all about the fact of trying to cover something up and to try to make it appear like it's not. Yes, they're being abused. They're being abused due to the fact that they can be abused by individuals that come in and out of the prisons each and every day who are given policies really that makes no common sense. They dictate slavery.
Going back to the question, do you think that the correctional officers that are in Illinois, should they have body cams? Because some of them have done abusive things and they should not have one body cam, two, so they can never have an excuse. I'm asking.
Well, yes, but just knowing how this government works, it'll be lucky if we are able to get one on them, and that's longer than the two. I feel pretty confident, and I think I speak for the brothers and sisters that are incarcerated. They would feel very, very just to get each correctional guard with one cam.
But my pretext about them having two, they can never have an excuse. It went out. That's what I was. I see what you're saying. You got it. Okay. You know what? You know what? Next, what I would like to know. You said within Cook County Jail, in Chicago, Illinois, there are people that are running around with the virus. Now, what I would like to know is, you say it's something that they should be doing that they're not doing. What are they doing incorrectly about people that have the coronavirus that they have contracted inside all these prisons in Illinois?
Well, first of all, they need to shut down each and every jail and each and every prison in the state. They need to clean them up. And then each and every individual that leave or enter inside of them, they need to start to test them for this virus. But most people fail to realize is that the prisons are so overwhelmed, the jails are so overwhelmed, which the guards, they don't want to do that work. And I think that it has told off against them due to the fact that they have had outbreaks of hundreds, if not thousands, of
The
individuals.
Statesville prison people looking at. Go ahead.
Yeah, Statesville,
Mhm.
the Cook County Jail, as well as Dixon. Dixon just got over a very major outbreak from January into early February, in which at least 20 inmates lost their lives sitting in those conditions. Prisons and jails are dirty. Everyone out here knows that they are dirty, that they are unsanitized. But when it comes to at least establishing some type of piece of legislation, people fall short. We need legislation to make the system accountable. And that's one thing that I like about what the governor signed, and that was the Illinois Pretrial Fairness Act, which now it makes the police criminally liable if they don't provide you with at least 3 telephone calls before their initial interrogation process. Now, we're talking about Chicago police tortures. I think that would curb Chicago police tortures to a large degree. Nothing is perfect, but in reality, if you get 3 telephone calls, then you should have the opportunity to call your family, an attorney, and someone else out in the community to sound the red flag. It's not like it was when I was a 16-year-old kid taken down to the police station, held incommunicado, and they would not even attempt to contact my parents.
Let me tell people, this is a live television show, and if you want to call in and you have a question, please, you know what, because Mark Clemens is here, he's in the house, and he's an individual that has been advocating on the behalf of inmates, him and his organization. been not to say you, but somebody in your organization may get mad, although you the head. But you got a question for him?
This is my first time meeting you, so what's the name of your organization?
Chicago Torture Justice Center out of Chicago. Also, Black Lives Matters out of Chicago. Also, the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, but I work along with a subgroup which is called CPIS. And what we do is we try to hold police officers accountable for their acts while working to free men and women that are inside of prisons based off of wrongful convictions out of them. A lot of people think all you have to do is go tell the judge that you're innocent. No, it takes a hell of a lot before you're able to convince. They make big money off of this stuff. And the thing about it, eyes don't see about all the big money that they make. And the politicians, most of them moved up the ladder based off of covering it up. And you know, the whole thing is when is we as a people going to become sick and tired? When are we going to say enough is enough? We know these things exist. It ain't about your family. It ain't about this one's family. It has to be as a totality, and you have to confront these people to change these conditions, or else you just keeping them intact. And they will be out to be used against your grandchildren. They don't never have to lock you up.
Take this question is out of sequence, because I got other questions about the mayor and Tom Dart. But you know what? Larry Hoover is in jail right now. He used to be the leader of the GDs, the Gangster Disciples. Okay, the brother Jeff Ford, I think he has relatives here in Chicago. They are locked up for the rest of their lives. And I believe that they have a certain amount of control out here on these streets. Should they let Larry Hoover, the leader of the Gangster Disciples, out, and Jeff Ford, and I don't even know who the leader of the Latin Kings are, should they let them out of jail if they make the pledge, we will come back to our communities and use our influence to normalize things? Should they let them out? I think Jeff Ford is in Marion. That's what I think he's in.
No, Jeff, Gino, as well as Larry is in Colorado.
Okay.
The Supermax prison. They're 40 feet underground. And my answer to that is yes, they should release Gino, they should release Jeff Ford, they should release Larry Hoover. You know, I'm one.
Who's the Latin Kings leader? I don't even know who the Latin. Gino, okay.
Right. I don't believe anyone should be incarcerated a day over 10 years. And the reason why I say that is because if the person haven't changed within the 10 years, they're never going to change. And the thing about it is people can only change based off upon programs and opportunities that is provided to them. You know, as much as people are pointing fingers at all three of these brothers, the system is just as guilty for not providing them with the social side. We do not have one mental health facility on the south side of Chicago, which is an outrage, taking in consideration of the traumas that people in the Black and brown communities face right now today. There's people right now speak. Maybe their child is laid and stretched out in the middle of the street. Their whole option made available to them is to go home, sleep it off, and act like they can shake it off and then bounce back and come back as a better person. No, these people need services that are being stripped from them by government.
To inform people this